Good morning, everyone. I'm Mark Totten, the U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Michigan. I'm so sorry I can't be with you this morning, but I really appreciate the opportunity to share a few words by video. The U.S. Attorney's Office is essentially the field office for the U.S. Department of Justice. Like my colleague, U.S. Attorney Dawn Eisen, I serve as the Chief Federal Law Enforcement Officer for my district. That district, again, is the Western District of Michigan. We cover all of the Upper Peninsula and then the western half of the Lower Peninsula. If you imagine a line drawn south from the Mackinac Bridge that sweeps in Ingham County, all of Lansing, goes down to Hillsdale County on the Indiana border, everything west of that line is the Western District. Our mission at the Department of Justice is pretty simple. It is to uphold the rule of law, to keep the country safe, and to protect civil rights. There's a reason that civil rights shows up in our mission statement, and that's because it is central to what we do. In fact, if you go back all the way to 1871, when President Grant signed the bill creating a Department of Justice, he tasked his Attorney General with the original mission of dismantling the KKK, which was terrorizing African Americans across the South. That original mission of taking on hate and discrimination is still very much a part of what we do today. Let me give you just a sense of what we've done on this front in the past 12 months. So if you go back to March, Sean Petola of Pickford, Michigan, that's a small village located in the eastern part of the UP. Sean Petola was sentenced to prison for threatening a mass shooting at a house of worship in East Lansing. I'm so grateful to the FBI, our primary partner on federal civil rights matters, for the incredible work they did on this case. Rather than being in the horrible position of responding to some incident that had already happened, we did exactly what we want to do in these cases. We prevented the crime from happening in the first place. That's always our goal. Another case, this last January, we won a jury verdict of guilt against Nathan Whedon of Saline, Michigan. Whedon was a student up at Michigan Tech, up in the Keweenaw Peninsula. He was also a member of the Base, a white supremacist group. He participated in what he and many other organizers referred to as Operation Kristallnacht, meant to further their anti-Semitic views and their views against other people of color as well. In September of 2019, Whedon painted neo-Nazi symbols on the synagogue in Hancock, Michigan. That act accomplished what they wanted it to accomplish. It sent a wave of fear among that community and a message that Jewish people were not welcome. This past June, the court sent Nathan Whedon to prison for perpetrating this hate crime. I was so proud to see a randomly selected jury of folks from all across the Upper Peninsula very swiftly convict Nathan Whedon. And again, many thanks to FBI for the work they did on this case. You know, as we move forward, I want to invite you to partner with us if there are ways in which that makes sense. I can think of three ways just off the top of my head. First, if you're the victim of a hate crime or if you become aware that somebody else is, I'd strongly encourage you first to reach out to local law enforcement, but also to call the FBI. You can reach them at 1-800-CALL-FBI or at www.fbi.gov/tips. Second, if you are aware of other federal civil rights violations that amount to discrimination in areas like housing, public accommodations, education, employment, or if you become aware of any threat to people's right to vote, I'd strongly encourage you to call our office. You can reach our voting rights hotline at 616-808-2140. And then third and final, if you'd like to discuss a civil rights presentation for your group or your organization about federal civil rights protections, I'd strongly encourage you to reach out to our office. We'd love to talk it through and see what might make sense. Again, thank you so much to all of you for the work that you do every single day protecting civil rights across Michigan.